Hey y'all, Mark Sebi here with Rebecca Creek Distillery and Rebecca Creek Radio. I'm sitting here with Mr. Scotty Alexander.
Yes, sir.
We just got done playing a little song swap, having a good time. It was an awesome show.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I got a guitar lesson finally. Appreciate you coming out and playing the show, but more importantly, I wanted to spend a few minutes with you and try to get some insight and let the listening audience out there know what you're what you're up to and what's coming on. I kind of wanted to start a little bit with your backstory. You got a really interesting backstory, and your history and where you got your start. So do you want to tell everyone a little bit about that?
For sure, yeah. I've been I got really blessed early on. Mom was an Okie. She was born up in Antlers, and my dad was a logger out on the West Coast out of Oregon. And so by the time I hatched, it was in a state that rained a lot, and it just became something where they were good enough to fill up the basement with a drum kit and a piano and a mandolin, and my grandpa died, and we got the family fiddle, and my dad was a guitar player. So I had, everything shy of a trumpet I had access to, and I got bored, and I just went down there and I tried to turn on the radio. And I tried to make everything sound like it did on the radio, and it was one of those, I call it the Karate Kid moment. I had no idea how much that would pay off for me. So by the time I was 6 years old, I was singing songs on the radio, and Mom sewed rhinestones onto my little blue church outfit. And I got on stage, and I learned Glenn Campbell song, I learned the Rhinestone Cowboy, and got on stage and cried when I came off, cried when she took the rhinestones off. It was like I already had it. The fish hook was in, man. I was like, no, this is life. This country music is what I want to do. And it didn't get any better, man. They finally found an agent, and then I started out, Mr. Hope, Bob Hope was still alive at the time. He was in his sunset years when I was, 6. So I would go out and sing the anthem in front of him.
Nice.
That just sunk, because now I'm not at the local talent show, now I'm in front of thousands of people. And so early on, it seemed like it's a natural thing to do. It seemed like a natural place to be when you start that young. It was the blessing of Tiger holding the club when he could walk. You know what I mean? It's just, okay, well, that's what I do. So from there, by the time I was 14, I had a 40-foot Silver Eagle bus, and we literally went from Inchiquin, Pennsylvania to Vegas and LA, the Northwest, and we moved to Pasadena for a while and played Gillies with the original Gillies with Mickey.
Nice.
And just had this, just kept getting more experience, and we put out some records. And I moved to Vegas when I was in my late teens, and this was the explosion of country music in the 90s. And it was great country music. It's still the only country music that I can remember as a child. It's still the one that I call country music for that time in my life. And through those connections early on, I ended up knowing people around the Wayne Newton camp. And so by the time I was 26, I was married. We had 2 kids then. Our third wasn't born yet. But I had met my beautiful wife and got married at 21. This is like the entire bio story in one question.
Yeah, this
Sorry.
is awesome. No, this is awesome. Keep going, man. This is good stuff.
Yeah, well, it's one of those domino effect things, right, as all of our lives are. And I went and sang a jingle. I was singing a lot of jingles to help, pay for diapers back in those days. And
you actually did Tide commercials, right?
I did a Tide commercial, and
you were on Star Search?
I was on Star Search back when Ed McMahon was alive, and it was the original American Idol. That format is not new. That's not a new format. Everybody starts watching American Idol or The Voice or America's Got Talent or whatever it is.
And they forgot about poor Ed.
They forgot about poor Ed, man. But that format's been around for a hot minute, and so I went on as a little kid, and didn't get very far, didn't win the thing, but again, now I had TV experience.
Sure. And
so you start stacking the deck up, coming up this way, and so by the time I was on stage with Mr. Newton, by the time I was 26, I had a house in Vegas, I had a wife and 2 kids, and I was on stage with Mr. Newton, and it all seemed good. I just had this blessing of a head start. So it didn't take long for Wayne, who also is a multi-instrumentalist. We shared everything. We shared this love of James Burton. He's an Elvis nut, and so he wanted a country guitar player that played like James and the different people that played with Elvis throughout the years. So it just became a match made in heaven. I started doing bits with him. So I'd come down and do a Devil Went Down to Georgia on the fiddle, and he'd, hey, stop it, don't play. He would start, we just had comedy bits that we would do. Dueling banjos. We did all the skits. And this was like the golden age of touring. So Roy Clark is out there kind of doing the same show, you know what I mean? Everybody's has got this very county fair, good time feel to the music was still out there. And I showcased everything that I grew up doing in my basement. And it was fun, and it was great. So from the Wayne years, ended up with my own show there in Vegas for a while. And wonderfully so, one of the reasons that that show ended was I wouldn't move forward. I wouldn't go into the bro country. I wouldn't go into the pop country. I wouldn't do that type of thing. And so entertainment directors and folks just started going, well, you know, why are you playing the old music? I'm like, well, that's that's what I do, man. Like, right. That's it. I can't change my spots. And from that, I ended up getting into production and learning how to make records on a very high level with some friends, and working on a lot of records, which again paid the bills. Now we've got our third baby, and she's young, and she's in grade school, and so, you know, I'm still touring. I'm still playing with my band, and we're still working a lot from Amarillo to the West Coast, and I had the opportunity to sit behind a computer and learn from some people, and I got to work on Brad Paisley records and Darius Rucker records. And
I was reading about that, man. It's pretty interesting.
It was phenomenal, and I'm the guy sitting there after they record it, you know, cleaning it up and editing it. But in the meantime, I get to kind of pull the curtain back and see all these great productions and how they're done, and then at the end of it, it spits out the other side, and there's my little name right next to Brian Willis, you know, as an editor, as an assistant, and that paid the bills while I was out touring. So now we're in this spot where we've come out of that, and I don't take jobs for playing guitar for anybody. I don't take jobs playing fiddle for anybody anymore. And my wife's been a champion for that. She's like, this is your time. You've got this catalog of songs, and you continue to write, and this is what you've done. This is what you're going to do. You know, it's kind of like John's song, you know, here I am, yeah, here I come.
Oh, that's an excellent.
Oh, what a beautiful song. He's such a poet, man. But I even to this point where we got the one single out that's number 33 this week, My First Beer. We've got a whole host of tunes, which you and I have been picking, right?
Yeah.
You and I have been picking these songs for the last 2 nights in Barrel Barn and then out here at Rebecca Creek's covered stage area. And they're all in some form of production in my studio back home, and we're getting ready to release them. And you know, I spend a ton of time up in Amarillo. We have family up there. My manager's up there. We've even recorded some stuff up there because my studio is portable. And so I know that's a long way from here.
Oh, absolutely.
But as you know, in our business, in the touring business, you know, like Kyle Park is a dear friend of mine. He's obviously a Rebecca Creek sponsored young man, you know, and doing great. When you look at a distance between Amarillo and San Antonio and anywhere else, it just doesn't scare us. We're like, yeah, well, let's go to the grocery store for us. That's our commute. You know?
Sure, yeah.
That's what we got to do.
Yeah, the road is kind of tough. So you've got a single, My First Beer, that's number 33 on the Texas Regional Radio Report I was looking today.
Thank you, Debbie Green.
Yeah. I actually got to meet Debbie last night for the first time. We've been Facebook friends for over a decade and never met. Can you believe that?
I do, yeah.
She's a little nugget hidden right here.
Yeah,
you know?
and she lives down the road.
Yeah,
right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, she down the road.
She's probably been here a few times and I didn't even recognize her because
right.
I asked her, is this your first time out? She's like, no, Mark. You know? And I got to meet Mr. Debbie too. That was
Mr. Debbie is a gem. Yeah,
but this song, My First Beer, you wanna play it for everybody?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to.
All right, man, tear it up.
All right. Okay, so I mean, if you're a hillbilly poet, you should have something that you lived when you did it, and this was my rite of passage. My dad and I were on a buck hunting trip, and he just cracked it open, handed it over to me, and said, "Don't tell your mother." And so I never forgot it. So it birthed this song. Don't remember the words to that song. Who I danced with at senior prom. It's just been way too long. Don't remember what movie we saw. It's just been too many years.
And the crowd goes wild. They get outside, man. That was a nice crowd tonight. That was
that's great.
Some people come up to see you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's going to go on next for you? What do you got planned? Any shows that you want to tell people about here in Texas, especially? You know.
Yeah.
I saw your tour schedule. It looks like you're all over the place.
Yeah, we've got some stuff coming up in New Mexico. We can play the Ice House up there.
We actually distribute.
And you distribute right there. I know. I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be awesome.
It is. And we got a call last week to open a show for Pat Green, and it was one of the few times I squealed. I was like, yeah, yes. Like, are you free? And I'm like, man, if I'm not, I'm going to get free.
Right.
I want to go. I want to play with Pat. And so that's scheduled for the 15th, and that's actually back. It's not here. That's on the west side. We're going to be at the M Resort in Las Vegas.
Cool.
So I'm going to open for him. But then I'll be up in Amarillo. We're going to open a show 2 weeks after that on June 28th for anybody that's up in the Panhandle. We're going to be at the Starlight Amphitheater. The Big Texan has a beautiful venue up there. And so we're going to open for Kevin Fowler. So Kevin will be up there.
Man.
I know I get to hang out with Pat and Kevin in just a couple weeks apart. And we've got some stuff that we hope to have together with Kyle, and we hope to have some dates to release on that. I played with Kyle last fall at Green Hall, and
cool.
And did some dates with him in Amarillo and back down here.
He's a super nice guy.
Oh, he's great.
He's awesome.
He's great, and he's got me on the golf course by a couple strokes, which kind of aggravates me. I got to get him.
He's a good golfer.
He's a good golfer.
Yeah.
He's a good golfer. And then after that, what do we do? We're talking about doing some stuff with Dog and Pony in Bernie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And
I think Mario actually. Thanks a lot, Mario, for letting me do this interview.
Hey,
I
Mario.
appreciate it. Hey, Mario. Mario couldn't be here tonight, so I told him, hey, while Scotty's in town, I'm going to make sure I get an interview with him for the radio station. So,
awesome, man. And great new single, Mario. By
yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
Sounds great, man.
Y'all are neck and neck on the charts on that one.
Are they?
Yeah, I
All
think he might be 2 ahead of you now. So.
Well, he's a veteran, man. He'll arm wrestle me on that one.
But so that's cool. Yeah, and I know that Mario's doing a showcase, I believe, at the Dog and Pony. I don't want to, speak out of line or anything, but I do believe they started a new showcase there at the Dog and Pony in Bernie. So y'all be sure to get onto the Rebecca Creek Radio Facebook page and RebeccaCreekRadio.com, and you can get more information there. You can go to RebeccaCreekDistillery.com or come over to the Rebecca Creek Distillery Facebook page and pick up some info there. We keep that pretty updated. And we're moving really heavy into the direction of the live music and getting Rebecca Creek Distillery as a live music venue. So as we take that journey, hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more of you for sure.
Man, I would love nothing more. Thank you so much.
That's awesome, man. And I do appreciate the time. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience listening?
Sure.
Where they can find you, how they can get a hold of you.
You bet.
I know, man, it's all about the social media game these days. So.
Yeah. My phone number is 806. I'm just kidding. You can find me ScottyAlexander.com, SCOTTY, ScottyAlexander.com. It's got all the tour dates, got some videos up there. And a video for my first beer made video of the week on the T3R, the Texas Regional Radio Report. I'm very thankful.
It's a cool video.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's a fun song, fun video. But yes, and of course, all the socials are just Scotty Alexander. You'll see the little blue check mark on our Facebook page, and we're real active there. Follow us, find dates. August 1st is the full album. We'll have one more single that'll come off. Probably that tune, Pretty Look Easy, that we played last night and tonight. It's a good tune. Thanks, man. We'll probably release that one first, and then the full album August 1. But hey, man, God bless good whiskey, Rebecca Creek, and country music. It's a blast.
Awesome. I want you to do one more thing.
Sure.
Before you leave.
You got it.
Put your guitar in the case. I want you to grab the Kyle Park guitar. we're gonna send a shout out to Kyle. He said he wanted to play. Now this thing's gonna be out of tune, y'all. But just strum a couple chords for Kyle, and let's say hi to Kyle Park. What's up, Kyle?
Hi, Kyle. Oh, wow.
Drop D.
I have no idea what that is.
It's in the key of drop, never been touched.
It's in the key of drop, never been touched.
All right, so we won't make you play anything, but we did want to say hi to Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. Yeah, I'm scared.
Hey, we appreciate everything, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to go to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe there, where you can keep up with all the cool stuff that's going on at the distillery. And don't forget to come out and visit the distillery. We have live music Thursday through Sunday. We'll catch you next time. Hey, thanks again, Scotty, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night, y'all.